Hello and welcome to my second attempt at the Heart of Obsidian campaign of Eldfall Chronicles. Last time I played this campaign with the Sand Kingdoms, but this time I will try to complete the campaign actually with the Empire of Soga. And the party for this attempt are two Bushi attendants, one Kitsune spellmate and one Musha Blade Master. The last of these has the upgrades Buyutsu expertise and Kyutsu expertise. So he gains the Arms Master class as well as the Marksman class. And his fencing and archery combat art are each increased by 1. Therefore he has archery 2 and fencing 4 in total. Switching over, as you can see here, I already placed the terrain and set up the board. Once again, since this will be the first quest of the 5 quest campaign, here is the terrain. We can see here, here and here the 4 buildings the party has to investigate to find the hidden tunnels. And we have here 2 gargoyles and 1 earth elemental. So I will set up the party down at this edge and I'll see you for the first turn. So starting with the party's first turn, I positioned them at the bottom left of the terrain. The idea is that only the Musha Blade Master is within 20 inches. I took some measurement before I let you join. But before that, in the party's strategic phase, both Bushi attendants decide to go into a defense stance using their warrior class. That means that they will have only a strike value of 1 in their active phase, but they will keep their normal strike value in the defense phase. The idea is that later these two will move a little bit into a more defense position for this wall to block line of sight of the earth elemental, but as soon as the gargoyles will come into line of sight and view, they will react and use their short bows to strike with 2 dice against the approaching gargoyles. But before we come to that, let us begin with the Musha Blade Master, because he will activate, use his archery skill combat art 2 to impose the slowed state on a hit model, and he will target this gargoyle. And as I said, the gargoyle is within 20 inches. It is the target of a range attack, therefore it will react and dodge towards the activated model. And let's have a look at their stat cards. The Musha Blade Master has an accuracy of 12. Therefore, he needs normally a 12 or less, but since he has the Kyutsu expertise upgrade, he is a marksman, and since he used idle movement in his activation, the marksman class activates and he gets a +4 to his accuracy, therefore a 16 or less is needed. While the gargoyle's agility is 8, therefore the gargoyle will need for its dodge an 8 or less. Once again, I just forgot the strike value of the bow. I assume, the bow has a strike value of stamina -1. So, 2 -1, the Musha Blade Master has a strike of 1 with his bow. So, rolling off, beginning with the Musha Blade Master, 16 or less. With a roll of 3, he will hit the gargoyle. The gargoyle needs an 8 or less. And with a 5, the gargoyle successfully managed to dodge the Musha Blade Master's attack, which means it will move 2.5 inches closer towards the Musha Blade Master. Since this was not as successful as hoped for, the Musha Blade Master will once again shoot at the gargoyle, and the gargoyle will also once again use the dodge action. As before, the Musha Blade Master needs a 16 or less to hit. With a roll of 4, he managed to hit. The gargoyle needs an 8 or less. And with a 4, once again, the Gargoyle managed to dodge the arrow of the Musha Blade Master. And again, 2.5 inches forward. So, let me see what I will do with the rest of the party, and I will fill you in later. After some thinking about it, I decided to activate this Musha attendant, Bushi attendant, sorry. I just measured the range of the hurl action of the Earth Elemental, which has 16 inches up to here, but this Musha attendant is able to just move outside of this range up to the position where this dice is shown, and from this position the Bushi attendant has, let me get down a little bit, it has a line of sight towards this gargoyle, but because of the position I think I will say that it will be heavy cover, because as you can see here, this is the token of the gargoyle, it is, I would say, at least half in cover. So with this, the Bushi attendant will activate, move towards this position, outside of the range of the Earth Golem, as I said previously. Here, and since I'm viewing this from this angle, I would say that the Bushi attendant does not have line of sight, so I made a mistake there, but I think this will be his activation of the first Bushi attendant, and let me now think about the next activation. Coming back to the game, I measured the range of the Earth Elemental, the 16 inches, and it is up to this die here. The Bushi attendant activated, he moved a little bit closer outside of the range of the Earth Elemental, so that he will not get attacked by the hurl activation. And he will shoot at the gargoyle. I just removed gargoyle's activation token for its reaction. Normally, as I said previously, the Bushi attendant would have 2 strikes with his shortbow, but since he is in the defense stand, he has only 1 die. He has an accuracy of 12, therefore needing 12 or less to hit the gargoyle. With a 6 he will hit. The gargoyle needs an 8 or less to dodge. And with a 14 the gargoyle did not manage to dodge it this time. And the Bushi attendant has a power of 13, sorry. As we can see here, toughness of 13. The gargoyle has an armor of 5, therefore the Bushi attendant needs an 8 or less to damage the gargoyle. And with a 15 he did not manage to do so. So this was the activation of this Bushi attendant. Next, the Kitsune Spellmate will activate, and she will just move a little bit. She has a movement of 6 inches. She will move a little bit more into the center of the party, since she has the Acute Sense trait. She has a 360 degree of, the Vigilance was it? Immune to sight, a surprise attack, and its front extends to 360 degree. Therefore she does not have a back art and can see the whole party. And now she will cast the Burning Resolve spell at the Musha Blade. And this means if the spell is successful, the Musha Blade Master will regain an activation point. And since she has a Mystic class, she does not need to cast it with her Intelligence of 14, but she can use her Moral of 15. So let's see if she's able to cast her spell at the Musha Blade Master. With a roll of 2, the Musha Blade Master will regain an activation point. And with her second activation, she will try the same spell at this Bushi attendant. With a 17, she failed, but since the Musha Blade Master has regained an activation point, he will activate again, and will now shoot of the gargoyle, which is without any activation points left to react. Now, since he's once again idle, he will get a +4 to his accuracy and therefore 16 or less to hit. With a 10 he hits. The Musha Blade Master, sorry getting mixed up with the names, has a toughness of 13. Once again, minus the armor of 5 of the gargoyle, means he needs an 8 or less to wound. And with a 15 he will fail to do so. Let me think about the last activation of the remaining Bushi Attendant, and I will let you join then. For the party's final activation and model, I just measured the range of the Earth Elemental, because I was thinking about the Bushi Attendant just to move somewhere around this area to also shoot at this gargoyle, and it came out that the Musha Blade Master is just 16 inches, or outside of these 16 inches, ending here. Therefore, the Bushi Attendant will activate. And just let me grab this measure stick. He will move with this up to 5 inches movement. Move just base-to-base contact behind, or with a little bit outside of base-to-base contact. And this will be heavy cover, since it is a stone wall. The gargoyle is unable to react. So let's see if the first activation is enough. Accuracy of 12 minus the penalty of -4. So he needs an 8 or less to hit. With a 13 he misses. And he will spend his second activation to shoot at the gargoyle. And 12 without the penalty he would have hit, but under these circumstances he misses. So this is the end of the first turn. Let me just place the activation tokens and let's get over to the hostiles' first turn. The hostiles' first turn started with this gargoyle moving from here up till this part of the wall. It will get into contact, but before it will reach there, the Bushi Attendant will use the opportunity to have a clear shot at the gargoyle, and I already took away one of his activation points. So, since he's in the defense stance, he has his normal strike value while he is reacting. Therefore, he has a strike value of 1 with his short bow, and he needs a 12 or less to hit. With a 9 and a 4, both of these hit, and therefore he has a toughness of 13, which translates into his power of 13, minus the gargoyle's armor of 5. He needs an 8 or less to wound the gargoyle. A 20 and a 4. A 4 is enough to damage the gargoyle. And since the gargoyle only has 1 HP, it will be incapacitated. But since it has the contact rate, once again, as in the previous scenarios quests I played, the gargoyle will actually be destroyed. And here we just saw the power of the warrior class. It is really powerful in the reactive role. While thus the gargoyle did not dodge, it declared a run action, that's a special movement, or which takes over the model's activation phase. So next we will do a similar procedure with this gargoyle. Both gargoyles are targeting the Kitsune because their priority is the model with the lowest HP, which will be the Kitsune. So we have here 6, and with additional 4 it is able to climb over the wall. And this is still in the vision arc of our 2 models here, the Bushi Blade Master and the Bushi Attendant and the Musha Blade Master. Therefore, the gargoyle, using its run and jump traits, will climb and jump over the wall, and this will cause a reaction of both of these. Beginning with the Musha Blade Master, he has an accuracy of 12, and with a natural 20 he misses. And now the Bushi Attendant in his warrior stance, needing 12 or less, 15 and 6, 1 hit. Once again, needing an 8 or less to wound. With a 15, he just failed to do so. Checking, the gargoyle is not within 5 inches, therefore it will once again use its run action, but let me just check to see if maybe the Kitsune Spellmate will also react. Okay, I just read up on the Kitsune no Mai spells, and the Kitsune Spellmate has the Flare spell similar to the Art of Sorcery Flame Flare spell, so Sweep 2 means that all mortals within the radius or range of the spell, which is 3 inches, will be hit. And it's a melee attack, and it has the quality of Burn 2 with a power equal to the intelligence. But before we get into this, the Gargoyle will activate, running toward the Kitsune Spellmate. Since it is in line of sight of all of the other 3 party members, all 3 of these will activate also. Range attack, range attack, range attack with short bow, and the bow. And in case the Gargoyle comes within 3 inches, the Kitsune Spellmate will also activate, trying to cast the Flare spell to destroy the Gargoyle. So let's begin with this Bushi Attendant. Since it is in the defense stand, it has 2 attacks against the Gargoyle, 12 or less to hit, a 7 and a 20, needing 8 or less to wound. With a natural 1, this Bushi Attendant actually managed to wound the Gargoyle and destroy it. The Golem is outside of 16 inches, but it has a line of sight towards the Musha Blade Master and the Bushi Attendant. Therefore, it will spend both of its activation using the idle movement and doing actually nothing. Therefore, let me just allocate the new activation points, and we will jump right into the second turn of the party. The party has decided to protect its more valuable members, namely the Musha Blade Master and the Kitsune Spellmate. Therefore, this Bushi Attendant has the questionable honor to be activated first. It moves 2.5 inches, a little bit closer to the Earth Elemental, so that the Earth Elemental is still actually able to see him, but half of him will be covered by the wall. Yeah, here we go. And he does this with a dodge action because he wants to trigger the activation of the Earth Elemental. I just put the tokens the wrong way. Let me just... no, I didn't just put... I was confused, sorry. It's the activation of the party. I was just thinking about, wait, the party didn't activate it last time, but they destroyed in the reactive roll the Gargoyles. The warrior class is still confused. This is actually my first game with the Empire of Soga. So, he used the dodge action, and the Earth Elemental will use its hold trait to throw a rock at the Bushi Attendant. So, therefore, the Earth Elemental has an accuracy of 10, minus 4 for the heavy cover. The Earth Elemental needs 6 or less. It's a 12, therefore I will just keep the Bushi Attendant in this position. And I think that the Bushi Attendant will now attempt to shoot the Earth Elemental. Since he's not in the warrior stand, he has a strike value of 2. The Earth Elemental will use its hold trait. Therefore we have a confrontation. The Bushi Attendant needs 12 minus accuracy of 4 because of the wall for heavy cover. Therefore 8 or less. A natural 1. So the Earth Elemental rolls 3, but because of the natural 1, it will actually lose this confrontation. And the actual 1 is extremely valuable for the Empire of Soga, because this hit will ignore the Earth Elemental armor of 10. Therefore, the Bushi Attendant has power of 13 or less to move the Earth Elemental. And it is exactly a 13, and with this, the Bushi Attendant unexpectedly and unintentionally managed to wound the Earth Elemental. In a similar procedure, here, this Bushi Attendant will actually begin with moving 5 inches here and then attacking the Earth Elemental, to which the Earth Elemental will also react. Here, I would say that we still have the wall is in the way. Therefore, both of these will get a -4 penalty for heavy cover. The Bushi Attendant needs an 8 or less. A 3 and a 7. Both will actually hit. If the Earth Elemental does not manage to hit also, with a roll of 9 minus 4, it's above the 6, therefore both hits will hit. But now, since none of these was a critical, the Bushi needs a 3 or less to wound the Earth Elemental. A natural 1 and a 7, it's a second wound towards the Earth Elemental. And with this, I will just repeat it. The Bushi Attendant will activate, the Earth Elemental will react. Once again, the Bushi Attendant, 2 rolls, 8 or less. This one is cocked. A 6 and a 9, therefore 1 hit. The Earth Elemental needs once again a 6 or less. With a 17 it misses, and the Bushi Attendant needs a 3 or less to wound. It's a 16. Surprisingly, both Bushi Attendants managed to get a wound on the Earth Elemental. Completely unintentional, but this is actually a chance for the party. And it will start with the Musha Blademaster. He will move into contact with the cover so that he's able to shoot through the window at the now Earth Elemental without of any activation points. So he moved, but he will shoot with his bow. But since he moved, he does not get the benefits of the marksman class. But the bow has a power of toughness +3, therefore if he isn't able to hit, he will have a power of 16. Let's see, 12 or less to hit. With a natural 2 he hits, needing normally power of 16 minus 10 of the armor, 6 or less. It's a 14. He fails now. He will stay where he is. Actually no, because if the Earth Elemental holds what it will actually do the next time. I think he will stay just because the Kitsune can activate and pull them a little bit back into heavy cover again if she managed to activate her spell 2 times. So the Musha Blademaster activates once more. This time he stays idle, therefore needing 16 or less to hit. It's exactly a 16. And now he needs a 6 or less to wound. It's a 5. The Earth Elemental gets another wound. So now it will regen in the next turn, in the beginning of the strategic phase, because of its regeneration trait or skill. I could try to play it risky and use the Kitsune Spellmate's spell to give the Musha Blademaster another activation, or maybe 2, in an attempt to destroy the Earth Elemental. Let me think about it and I'll let you join later. I thought about it, and even if this might not be the smartest move, but this is a great opportunity to take the Earth Elemental out of play. Therefore, the Kitsune Spellmate will activate. She actually didn't need to, but she wants to stay close to the rest of the party. Gets a little bit closer, still in cover, and the Earth Elemental is also out of activation points. And now she will cast the Burning Resolve spell at the Musha Blademaster in an attempt to give him an activation point back, 15 or less. With the 12 she managed to do so. He will instantly activate again, because one requirement for the Burning Resolve spell is that the model does not have to have any activation points left. So now, once again, he will shoot with his bow at the Earth Elemental. Since he stood idle, he gets a bonus of +4 to his accuracy, 16 or less to hit. It's a 9. And now, power of 16 minus armor of 10, he needs a 6 or less to wound. It's an 18. The Kitsune Spellmate once again tries the Burning Resolve spell. With a 14, it is enough, and he will once again activate. The Musha Blademaster needs a 16 or less to hit. He misses with a 19. So the risk did not pay off. Let me just allocate the activation points. Let the Earth Elemental heal 1, and I will let you join in at the Earth Elemental's turn. Okay, the Earth Elemental regenerated 1 hit point, therefore it has only 2 wound markers there. And when the Earth Elemental will activate, it is outside of 5 inches, therefore it will stay idle and use its whole skill. The Musha Blade Master is the closest model with 10 inches. The Bushi Attendant here are about 12 inches, therefore the Earth Elemental will activate and attack the Musha Blade Master, which might also hit the Bushi Attendant because the whole trait has the small template. But before that, when the Earth Elemental activates, the Musha Blade Master will also activate and attack. To make a confrontation out of it, he needs a 12. The Earth Elemental, because of the heavy cover here, needs a 6 or less. Also, this Bushi Attendant and this Bushi Attendant will activate to also shoot at the Earth Elemental, but since these models only make an attack action against each other, these two will be in a confrontation, but the Bushi Attendants will have a chance to shoot at the Earth Elemental again. So with this, the Earth Elemental will activate. I just realized that I didn't turn around the activation tokens of the Earth Elemental. Let me just correct this with the remaining one. So let's begin with the confrontation. The Earth Elemental needs a 6 or less. It rolled a 9. Here, therefore it misses. Is the Musha Blade Master with a 12 or less able to hit? With a 14, both of these missed. And now, this Bushi Attendant needs a 12 or less. It's a 13. The second Bushi Attendant needs a 12 or less. It's a 5. And now he needs a 3 or less to wound because it was not a critical hit. It's an 8. He failed to wound the Earth Elemental. Now, for the second activation, we just repeat the same procedure. Therefore, the Earth Elemental needs a 6 or less. It's a 14. The Musha Blade Master needs a 12 or less. And with a roll of 9, he managed to win this confrontation, hitting the Earth Elemental. And now he needs a 6 or less. It's a roll of 2. He managed to wound the Earth Elemental. Let's see if the other two Bushi Attendants managed to hit the Earth Elemental and wound it. 12 or less. The first one right here managed to hit. 3 or less to wound. It's a 5, close but not enough. Now the second Bushi Attendant, 12 or less. It's a natural 20. He fails to hit the Earth Elemental. And with this, I think I know what I will do. Just let me allocate the activation points, and I'll let you join when I'm ready. This turn will be dedicated to an attempt to destroy the Earth Elemental. And beginning is this Bushi Attendant. Both of these stay in the active phase, so they are not using their warrior class. Simply to get 2 rolls for the confrontation, because here the Bushi Attendant needs an 8 or less because of still the heavy cover. But the Earth Elemental needs a 6 or less to win the confrontation, or actually hit the Bushi Attendant. So let's start with the Bushi Attendant. 8 or less. It's a 5 and a 6. Both of them hit. This Bushi Attendant here is on fire. The Earth Elemental needing a 6 or less. It's a 13. So both attacks of this Bushi Attendant hit. Therefore, if one of these is a 3 or less, he actually managed to destroy the Earth Elemental. It's sadly a 6 and a 10, so he was unable to do so, but this was still impressive. Now, the Bushi Attendant activates once again, the Earth Elemental reacts again. So, beginning with the Bushi Attendant, he needs a 8 or less, 19 and 5, and the Earth Elemental again needs a 6 or less. It's a 15, so once again, 1 hit, 3 or less, it's a 6. So, next, I think that I will begin with the Musha Blade Master, because he's still in heavy cover and he has a better accuracy, especially since he stays idle and therefore has 16 or less to hit. It's a 19, he misses. Does the Earth Elemental roll a 6 or less? It does with a 2. So, let me just grab the small template. This might actually change this whole, because the Musha Blade Master is wholly within the template, but also the Bushi Attendant. So both of these are getting hit. So And the hurl action has also the stagger trait, therefore both of these will lose an activation point, which is quite dangerous right now. The Musha Blade Master only has an armor of 2, therefore the Earth Elemental needs a 14 or less to wound the Musha Blade Master. He is wounded, but he has the Berserker trait, therefore he's once a turn able to make a toughness roll to ignore all wounds he gained. So he needs a 13 or less to ignore it. With a 16 he did not ignore it, so he gets a wound token and loses an activation point. And now for the Bushy Attendant, who has an armor of 4, the Earth Elemental needs a 12 or less. It's an 18, he's not wounded, but he loses an activation token. So, with this turn of event, he will activate. He will stay where he is, because this way he will also get cover. So, the Earth Elemental will react with its own activation. So, let's begin with the Bushy Attendant needing 8 or less. It's a 7 and a 17, therefore 1 hit. The Earth Elemental with a 15 misses, therefore the Bushy Attendant hits it, needing a 3 or less. It's a 17. So now only the Kitsune Spellmate is left with any activations. She will use her first activation, trying to cast Burning Resolve at the Musha Blade Master. It's a 4, therefore he will activate again. Staying idle, shooting at the Earth Elemental, 16 or less. It's enough with the Archer or Marksman, that was the name of the class. Needing a 6 or less. It's a 14. She tries again a second time. Will she? Yeah, she will. Natural 1. This time the Musha Blade Master will activate, goes a little bit further away from the Bushy Attendant, just to make sure that not both of them will be hit again. So now he needs a 12 or less. With a 19, either way he would have missed. So with this, the Earth Elemental will again regain 1 wound. And I think I can save up the activation points because it will 2 times hurl at the Musha Blade Master, and all 3 of them will react, trying to attack the Earth Elemental, similar to before. Let's start with the first roll. The Earth Elemental still with a penalty of -4 because of the heavy cover. Needs a 6 or less. 16. The Musha Blade Master needing a 12 or less. 17. Bushy Attendant number 1. 11 he hits, needing a 3 or less to wound. It's a 3. The Bushy Attendant's doing work this game. The second Bushy Attendant with a 2 hits, 3 or less. It's a 3, and the Earth Elemental is slain by the Bushy Attendants. Let me just clean up the board, allocate activation points for the party's next turn. The party decided that one of the Bushy Attendants will begin the turn by moving 5 inches into the building and declaring an attack action. Why does so? It's most likely an attack action with his sword, because it is very likely that in the first building an enemy will spawn. Let's see what will happen. Only if he rolls a 1, he will have found the underground passage. It's a 9. A 9 will be a golem. So let me set up the golem, who immediately engages the model that walked in, therefore the Bushy Attendant. And afterwards I will just make the attacks. Give me a moment. So here's the golem, and as in my previous games I decided to not give him any activation points, because he joined the game in the activation phase, not in the upkeep, which is after the upkeep phase, therefore no activation points for him. If you have another opinion, I would like to read it in the comments. So, but now the Bushy Attendant will make an attack with his short sword, which has a strike value, let me just get it into focus, come on, of stamina, which is equal to 2. Therefore he needs a 12 or less to hit the golem. A 7 and a 12 both hit the golem. The golem has an armor of 8. The Bushy has a power of 13, therefore 5 or less. This is a 15 and this is a 14, therefore both fail to do any harm to the golem. Now the Musha Blade Master will activate. He will walk about the wall because it is of a less height than he is himself. He will use his fencing 2 skill to get the knockdown ability. I think it is fencing 2. Otherwise, he has the ability to give his strikes the knockdown ability. And since the golem is only 1 category larger, he is able to utilize it. Also, he will use the Arms Master class to get an additional strike in his active phase. So he has 3 strikes. And he has an offense of 14, therefore 14 or less. It's a natural 1, a 6 and a 12. This is great. Because first, with the knockdown, I think that the creature is automatically prone, but let me just check it once more and I will fill you in as soon as I have read up on the rules. I read the rules and it is on a hit, and the model has to be within 2 size categories, so all of these criteria are fulfilled. Therefore, the golem is now in the crouch state. This means that its armor value will be halved, which is the most important part. But the natural 1 of the Musha Blade Master ignores the armor completely, therefore a 13 or less. It is a natural 20, of course, and the other 2 are only reduced by the halved armor value of 4 of the golem, therefore a 9 or less to wound. 2 13s, both of these failed. But now I am thinking about using the dagger, who has an equal strike value, has a power of toughness -3, therefore 10, but it again has a special rule that when used against model in crouched state, it gains +1 strike. Therefore, that would be 3 strikes instead of 2. And with a total penalty of -7, therefore it would be a 6 or less to wound. I mean, it worked for the Earth Elemental, therefore let's see. The Bushy Attendant uses its dagger to attack the golem. Just double checking. Okay, no, it will use its short sword because this dagger does not have the armor piercing quality. Therefore, it will prefer to use its short sword. So, 2 strikes with a 7 and a 20, 1 hit. And now 13 -4, 9 or less. It's a 2. With this, the golem is wounded. Is wounded once. The Musha Blade Master will now use his Arms Master again, and this time, previously the knockdown was fencing 4, by the way. We'll use the fencing 3 to get another strike. So 14 or less, 11, 5, 12 and 2, all for hitting. Now needing 9 or less to wound the golem. 7, 10, 17, 19, therefore a second wound, but the golem has 3 hit points. So this time the Kitsune Spellmate will activate. She will walk towards this position and she will try to cast Burning Resolve at the Musha Blade Master. With a 14 she managed to do so. The Musha Blade Master immediately activates. Once again, he attacks the golem using fencing 3 to get another strike as well as Arms Master in his active role. 14 or less, it's a 20, 14, 3 and 6 are hitting. And now once again, strike power of 13 minus the halved armor of the golem of 4. 9 or less, 12, 19, 20, nothing. And the Kitsune Spellmate will try again to cast Burning Resolve at the Musha Blade Master. With a natural 1, he succeeds. And a third attempt of the Musha Blade Master this turn. 7, 12, 3 and 11 all hitting. 9 or less, just 1. And he fails. 13, 14, 18 and 19. So, with this, the Bushy Attendant will activate and use the Run special action 3, 2, 8 inches to get into contact and spend its second activation point to attack the golem, needing 12 or less, 3 and 14. And now he needs a 9 or less to wound and actually destroy the golem. With a roll of 10, he failed to do so. Therefore, the golem is still alive. I will just continue directly into the golem's turn. The golem is crouched. I assume that in its activation it will stand up and it will attack. In its active role, it will attack the closest target. But since all are in engaged state, I just did not put an engaged marker next to them. But I assume that the golem would attack the Musha Blade Master because it's the most valuable model and it is already wounded. So it will attack the Musha Blade Master. He will react by attacking back and making a confrontation out of it. And the two Busha attendants will also attack the golem in an attempt to destroy it. Starting with the confrontation. The golem with its fist of stone, needs a 10 or less for its offense. So we have a 7 and an 8, both hit. Let's have a look at the Musha Blade Master. The Musha Blade Master has a defense value of 12, therefore needing a 12 or less to hit. It's a 7, so therefore the other 7 is cancelled out, but it's still an 8 of the golem that hits the Musha Blade Master. And with this, the golem has a power of 15 reduced by the armor of 2 of the Musha Blade Master. Therefore 13 or less to wound. It's a 13, it's just enough. The Musha Blade Master uses his Berserker skill, 13 or less to ignore it. It's a 4, he ignores it, lucky for him. Now the first Bushy Attendant needing a 10 or less, 12 or less, with a 4 he hits. Now, since the golem stood up, it has its armor of 8, so therefore the Bushy Attendant needs a 5 or less to wound. It's an 8. The second Bushy Attendant attacks. With the 18 it misses. Once again, the golem activates, attacking the Musha Blade Master, who will also in turn react and attack, and both Bushy Attendants also attack the golem. Natural 1 and 10, both are hitting the Musha Blade Master. This might be really bad for him, who rolls a 4, so therefore cancelling the 10. Now the golem needs a 15 or less, because it ignores the armor. 19, lucky for the Musha Blade Master, he's not wounded, because he would not have his Berserker skill anymore. So, Bushy Attendant number 1, with a 10 he hits, with a 13 he does not wound. The second one, with the 13 he did not even hit. So with this, we will go straight into the next activation of the party. Let me just allocate the tokens. And I will not to put any activation points to the golem because he will always react. So against the Musha Blade Master, let me just see if the golem reacts as I assume. Active model, always using Protector skill, it's not relevant on this turn. Melee attack outside, melee attack within, attacks with stone, Fist of Stone. Therefore we have a confrontation. The Musha Blade Master rolls 4 dice, 14 or less. It's 3 hits, the 17 does not hit, which gives me a die for the golem who has a 12 or less. With a 4, he failed to cancel out any of the Musha Blade Master's attacks, and I should have just rolled 3 to give him the knockdown ability once again, but that was a mistake. So therefore, the golem has an armor of 8, so the Musha Blade Master needs a 5 or less to wound. A 2 and 2 3s, this would have been enough to slay the golem in 1 turn. So, with this done, let me just move the party a little bit and I will catch you up to speed after I am done. As you can see, the party prepared its position to explore the next building. This will be the questionable honor of the first Bushy Attendant of this one, who moves into the building and declaring an attack action, because since this is a second building, it is very likely that a golem or gargoyle will appear and attack immediately the Bushy Attendant. So let's have a roll. And in the instant that the golem or gargoyle appear and attack, he is able to enter a confrontation with them. So 1 to 4, he finds the passage beneath the building. It's a 5, and the 5 will be actually another golem. So, with this, the golem will attack. It has an offense value of 10 with a 16 in felt, and now the bushy attendant, since it also declared an attack, it our defense value of 12 I think the golem would have used, but the 16 was far above it, and the offense of 2 and a 3. Actually, since the golem started, it's a little bit confusing, but the golem misses and the bushy attendant hits with a 2 and 3, either if both of them would have used their offense or defense value. So, since the golem is standing, the bushy attendant needs 5 or less to wound. 12 and 14 is not enough. With this, the Musha Blade Master is just within 6 inches, which is enough because his sword has a range of 1. Therefore, even when he's not engaged in combat, he's still able to attack the golem. And this time he will begin with using his Fencing 4 combat art to get the knockdown trait, needing a 14 or less, therefore 2 hits. With this, let me just grab once again the crouch token. The golem is down, armor is halved, therefore the Musha Blade Master needs a 9 or less. 2 12s, not enough. He will immediately activate again. This time using Fencing Combat Art 3 to get an extra strike, 14 or less. The 19 will not be enough. The 1 is a critical hit. 5 and 9, needing a 9 or less. It's a 5. This is the first wound onto the golem. The 1 needing a 13 or less. It's a 16, it's not enough. Now the Kitsune Spellmate will activate, using her Burning Resolve at the Musha Blade Master. It's a 7, enough, who will immediately activate once again 4 strikes. 14 or less. 2 misses. A 2 and a 12 hit. And he needs 13 minus 4, 9 or less, yes. The 9 is enough, the 13 isn't, therefore the golem gets another wound. The Kitsune Spellmate tries again, Burning Resolve as a Musha Blade Master. 7 is enough. And he will again strike with 4 attacks, 14 or less. All 4 are hitting, 2 9s, 1 4, 1 2. 9 or less. 1 9, 1 19, 1 11, 1 17. But enough to put a third and final wound at the golem, who's destroyed. And with this, the second building is explored. Let me just relocate the party a little bit, especially the remaining activation of these bushy attendant. And then I will catch you up when I explore the third building. The party spent 1 turn to just get into position for the third building here at the upper right. And with this, in the next activation, this bushy attendant will activate. He enters the building, and let's see what he will encounter. With an 8, he was able to find the hidden passage. Therefore, the rest of the party will join, and this will be the game. In total, the Musha Blade Master took 1 wound. As opposed to the Sand Kingdoms previously, here are no healing spells, so the wound will stay on for the second quest. In total, it was quite a different experience compared to the Sand Kingdoms, especially since the stats of the Bushy Attendants and the Musha Blade Master in combination with the Kitsune Spellmate are quite different. They are far above the stats of the Sand Kingdoms, and they are more martial, and also the warrior class is quite interesting because in this you can be offense at the active phase of your opponents. So what do you think? Who of these two factions, the Sand Kingdoms of the previous attempt of the Heart of Obsidian campaign, or the Empire of Soga and the first quest here, which of these two factions do you like more? Write it down in the comments, and I'll see you next time for the second quest of the Heart of Obsidian campaign.